Okay, beloved attendees, thank you so much for coming and a blessed afternoon. And I know that one of the reasons why you attended this webinar is for you to know how accountants do accounting. Well, we're glad that business owners are now adopting compared before na pag naririnig nila yung accounting, they will have adverse reaction. No? Sabi nila, nako, mahaba-habang usapan yan or mahirap yung maintindihan. Well, sino ba dito has the same reaction? Can we see hands? If you have the same reaction, well, you're in for a treat because we will discuss the accounting system, which can be summarized in 8 steps. Well, 8 steps are traditionally, but with this webinar, we will also know how it evolved with technology. So are you all excited to jump to our first step? Pa-heart check naman dyan. Okay, but bago yan, let us know why we need to know these things. Bakit nga ba? By understanding kasi how the accounting cycle works and how it benefits your businesses, you can make better financial decisions. Just like any other product or food, you don't just eat them without knowing how it is processed and what the ingredients are, diba? So accounting is the same. It processes financial information and the end product are the financial reports that provide information about the performance and position of company, performance of your operation, if it's profitable or not, and of course the health of the company. And as decision makers, you don't want to make a specific decision out of a financial statements without knowing how it is processed, right? So knowing how it is processed, you will also know if something is amiss. You will have better control over financial processes that thus helping prevent fraud and financial mismanagement. You can grow your business with confidence. Okay, now that we know the importance, let's jump in how it is processed. I will show you quickly the boring part first. So please bear with me. Promise it will be quick. Then punta tayo sa exciting part, the high-tech and automated processes that will make your life easier in doing accounting. Gusto nyo ba yun? Pa-heart check, pa-heart react for those who want the high-tech and automated process. Okay. Okay, so here's the boring part. We'll do this in 2 minutes. If you have a timer, you can time me. Okay, so what are the steps in the accounting cycle? When you ask any accountant or check the textbooks, they will give you these 8 steps. First, transaction. Of course, the main ingredient is the financial transaction. That starts the process. Kasama dito yung purchase or sale of goods and services. So now that you have the transaction, it's time to record it. That's your next step, the journal entries, the core of the accounting process. This is where you classify your transactions. If part ba siya ng assets mo, or your resources, liabilities or utang mo, equity, your capital movements, or revenue, or di kaya expense. This is where the tricky part is also. Heard about debit, credit, but let's not dig into that and move to the next step, the posting to the ledger. Simply put, you will post your journal entries from your second step to the ledger, parang from one record to another record. Next is preparing the trial balance. At the end of the period, it can be a month, a quarter, or a year, depending on your business practices. You can calculate a balance for each account of or yung classify mo kanina and posted in the ledger. Now that you have your trial balance, let's go to the 5th step, your worksheet. From its name, it's a sheet of paper or Excel where you will work for your reports. And next to that is making adjusting entries. Adjusting entry is to make sure that your financial statements, yung sasama lang doon, yung mga relevant sa particular period. Kung expense mo siya ngayon, but next month mo pa babayaran, then make adjustment at sama mo sa current period mo. Next step is the preparing of the financial statements. So remember kanina from the start that the product of accounting is the financial reports or financial statements where you will draw financial decisions. So that's the 7th step. So you might ask, if I already have the final product of the accounting cycle, why would I need the eighth step? Okay, so since it's a cycle, as you can see in the slide, for you to begin your next step, you have to close the current period, and that will be your last step, the closing of the books. So close your revenue and expenses, and you can begin the entire cycle. So done with the boring part. Are you still with me? Heart reaction. So sino yung mga nag-time dyan? Hindi naman ako nag-spill. Okay, so now let me show you the exciting part. This is where doing accounting gets easier. You might ask, dapat ba daanan talaga lahat ng 8 steps? Can we skip some steps? Well, there's no question. All the steps are important and should be followed. However, I have a good news for you. Today, there's a new way of doing accounting. Sabi pa nga nila, di ba, old has gone, like from busy to easy with the help of accounting tools. And accountants today use tools or systems to streamline the process. So with these tools, even non-accountants can do the accounting cycle. So paano ba? With a streamlined accounting system, the process will still start with the same first step, that transaction. So you will input or encode nyo yung transaction in the system. Some self-service systems are using simplified terms that even non-accountants can easily understand. So they are using buy and pay terminologies rather than purchase or accounts payable, invoice and disbursement, all those things. Now they also use sell and collect for your customer transactions. Once na-input na yan sa system, it will automatically create the journal entry. So no need na po to worry about how to classify it or how to make the journal entry. Anong debit, anong credit mo. Some accounting systems will provide you the default classifications. So like when you sell, you will have your revenue, discount, your taxes even classified. So if not fully paid, it will determine how much will be part of your receivables. So wag mo nang problemahin anong debit and credit mo. That's hitting 2 steps with 1 action. 2-in-1 or even 3-in-1, di ba? Parang instant coffee lang. Or pwede rin hanggang 4-in-1 steps. Well, depende sa accounting system na ginagamit mo. So hands up sa mga gusto ng 3-in-1. So hindi 3-in-1 coffee, 3-in-1 na process. Okay, so paano ba yan? How does that work? No? Remember your 3rd step kanina sa posting to accounts. For those sharp yung mga memory, I believe you can remember that. Some accounting systems have a separate step for this. Pwede mong i-trigger, like you have to run the posting depending on the type of the transaction or once for all classification. But if the accounting system is more advanced, this step is already included in the first step pa lang, sa pag-input pa lang or pag-encode mo pa lang ng transaction. The posting to the ledger is usually done automatically in the background. So see 3-in-1 na. Next, the trial balance and worksheets. With streamlined accounting tools, you don't have to prepare for your trial balance. All you have to do is to generate and check if you have made mistakes inputting information in the system. But other advanced system will not save a transaction if the equation is not balanced and already put in some controls to minimize the error. So rather than preparing your trial balance, it is more like generating the report. Next is making adjusting entries. Well, if complicated yung business nyo and marami kayong need i-adjust, this is something you need to do. But some advanced accounting system have features to automatically generate your adjustments like depreciation or amortization entries, saving you time than manually compute for the cost you will write off from your properties over time. So next, financial statements. And just like the trial balance with the streamlined accounting tools, you can just generate it at a click of a button rather than prepare it manually. If the accounting system you choose is designed by the developers that has anticipated your requirements, you can generate at once all financial statements that you want in just one click. Well, some designed accounting system also will give you analysis for your expenses, profit, and other graphical analysis that will be very helpful in your decision making. And then lastly, closing of the books. Some accounting system have a closing of books procedures. You have to go to trigger to close the books and start a new reporting period. But in some more advanced system, this is done in the background. So you can generate reports seamlessly for your previous period or the current period. So that's how the accounting cycle evolved. The 8 steps before can become as short as 2 to 3 steps with the right accounting tools. Your only concern is the inputting or encoding of the transaction, and let the tools classify and summarize it for you. You will have the same output, your financial reports, and you can be assured that the cycle is being followed. Again, by following the accounting cycle, a company can ensure that its financial statements, the end product, are accurate and comply with accounting standards. With your financial statements, you can make informed business decisions, and you will now have a better control over financial processes. You are also able to prevent fraud and financial mismanagement. So in a nutshell, understanding the accounting cycle is essential for anyone involved in financial reporting or decision making. Now, let me close with a very important question. So what if you don't know how to go about doing your accounting? Or what if you don't know which accounting tools to choose? Well, let me give you a very helpful tip. Make sure you choose an accounting system that is not expensive to set up, and you can just stop using it anytime you feel like it's not helping you. Look for an online accounting system for subscription. They can provide you with this easy arrangement, no big investment on the tools, and very important to take note, choose an accounting system provider that gives you continuous support as you implement your day-to-day transaction. Na yung hindi magpapa-charge every time you need their help. Well, if you can find a provider who will willing to customize the reports according to your requirements, well, attendees, you have found a jackpot. So that's it for now. So long for now. I hope you have learned so much from our talk. And again, thank you so much for attending. God bless you all.